Moving on to the final region. This is the top right. This is the East, and this is where you will find the Duke Blue Devils as the 1 seed. The 2 seed is going to be the Alabama Crimson Tide. The 3 seed is the Wisconsin Badgers, and the 4 seed, I don't know, somehow, some way, the Arizona Wildcats are a 4 seed. But I will say this: their matchup against Akron, that's going to be a tough one. I'll get this one started, and that might be the place I actually want to start. I think Akron is a team that probably should have got a 12 or an 11. They do play in the MAC, but this is a very, very good team. Akron is very live against Arizona in that one. I would not be surprised to see them take care of business. I was very, very surprised when Selections Show came out. I didn't realize Baylor was going to be in the tournament. So congratulations to them. And I looked at their resume. Yeah, they have every right to be in there, but very quietly, they put together a very good season. I do think they take care of Mississippi State. But I don't think anyone can really stand up to Duke. I would not be surprised to see St. Mary's take care of Alabama in the second round. I Alabama, they remind me a lot of the Miami Dolphins. They are flashy and you ooh and you ah, but the minute they get into a rock fight, they fold like a cheap suit. And guess what March is? Nothing but rock fights. We saw it 2 years ago against San Diego State. You go up against a good defensive team that says, look, let's keep the possessions to a minimum and let's score 70 and let's frustrate the you know what out of them. How does
Mhm.
Alabama respond? I like St. Mary's to get through there. I don't have a whole lot of faith in Alabama. The only real team that I think I could see standing up to Duke is maybe Wisconsin, but I'm telling you, if BYU can get past VCU, keep an eye on them because BYU, maybe not a whole lot of people have seen them, but this is a very, very good team and criminally underrated at 6. I think we need to switch Arizona and BYU. Arizona's a 6, BYU's a 4. But it's a very tough matchup for BYU in that first one. It's kind of like one of those, well, if they get through that, I could see them getting all the way to the regional final. But I might even take VCU just because of the way that team plays and stylistically how they match up. So yeah, I would say Akron is the only real big Cinderella here. And then maybe take it a step further into the second round. I'm calling my shot with St. Mary's taking down Alabama, of course, assuming St. Mary's gets past a very, very good and surprising Vanderbilt team that has a lot of scalps on their mantle from the SEC this year. But I think at the end of the day, I think this is Duke's tournament to lose, and this is certainly Duke's region to lose. But Raider Jim, give us your thoughts on the East brackets.
Well, we are usually so right on with our thoughts and everything, and believe it or not, I've got Vanderbilt going on
Wow.
Alex Chase
Okay.
Brown, and primarily because what division do they play in?
Yep.
And so you look at their overall record and you go, yeah, these guys have lost some games. Yeah, look who they've played.
Mm-hmm.
Look at those guys that are scattered all over the brackets, and they've played them, and maybe they didn't even beat them. Maybe they won one here, won one there, lost a few. But even when they lost, they're some of those games they only lost by a couple baskets. I think Vanderbilt has just had so much good sparring work, if you will, to get up to this point to play a St. Mary's. They're going to come out tough, and I think it's going to be a challenge for Randy Bennett and the boys. Vanderbilt's not going to get past an Alabama, I don't believe, but I think what you're going to end up seeing by the time we get done with the weekend, it's going to be somewhere along the way. You're going to see it's going to be BYU and Alabama. I'm with you. I think BYU is one of the teams to beat in this one. And I love the way BYU is playing right now. I think They're tough. They're gritty. I think they can take care of business against Wisconsin, and not a problem at all there. Well, a challenge, but they can persevere. Arizona, Akron. If Arizona lost that opening game, I'm not going to be that surprised.
Yeah.
But I think they will persevere on that one. But they're not going to be able to get past Oregon. Oregon's just those flashy kids, man. They're just fast, fast, fast. They're going to put up some offense, and then that would eventually get us to, can you see Duke and Oregon playing? And that would be kind of a fun game to see. And it would. You look at the overall size and the ability of Duke. And so in my mind, and this is so not the truth, but you imagine Oregon, a bunch of little guys, ankle biters, just going around, just creating havoc and just irritating the shirts off of the Duke guys if it gets that far. But I think Oregon's got a fair chance to move on out of the weekend. Baylor, hey, stranger things have happened. If a 9 can put it together, it's going to be a good Baylor team. They still struggle though a little bit. And when that opening game, Mississippi State, that's not an easy game. And whoever gets past Mississippi State or Baylor, yeah, you're going to have to go up against the guys that are probably the top pick to win it all.
Yeah, and also just a little bit of a injury update. It is not expected. Definitely, or we will definitely not see Cooper Flagg in the first round game, and most people do believe we will not see him in the second round game either. There's even some talk about the Sweet 16 not happening either. Unsure if that's more precaution or severity. I don't know. And to be honest, we'll probably won't know. But just for posterity's sake, Duke will be facing off against American University or Mount St. Mary's. That'll be a play-in game tomorrow. So just keep that in mind, only because again, I think we're all gonna just Duke probably doesn't need Cooper Flagg against either American or Mount St. Mary's and Mississippi State and Baylor. Cooper Flagg is very good, but Duke overall is very good. They also won the ACC pretty convincingly without Cooper Flagg, at least the tournament. So there are some people that are like, oh, they might get, it's kind of ironic that Duke does get of the 4-8 seeds, 3 of them, there's massive blue blood storylines behind them. And then the other 8 seed is Mississippi State and Baylor, which, with all due respect to those, it's not the Gonzagas, the UConns, or the Louisvilles of the world.